Hi, welcome to Find Your Flow Yoga. I'm Sarah Ford, and this is our second video for our DnD podcast series. And today we are covering the fighter, which is exactly what it sounds like. They're very combat heavy. They are good with weapons and fighting in general. They deal a lot of damage. And so I see that fighters have that power in their body to be able to deal that damage. So dealing with our strength in our arms, we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on having looser hips because fighters are also fast. So we should be able to run really quick without our legs hurting. So loosen up our hips, working on our strength in our arms, and also we're going to work on our core because a lot of power comes right from our core. So it'll be a whole mix of that, and I'm excited to start this with you. So let's get started in tabletop position to warm up our spine. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, finding that core engagement, that belly button pulling through to the spine, nice and lifted. And on our inhale, we're going to drop our belly and gaze up to the ceiling. Exhale, pulling that belly button through, dropping the chin to the chest. Inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. Continuing to do this with your own breath. Starting to find organic movements in your body. So if that includes releasing and just doing some neck rolls in a spot. Moving your hips one way. Just loosening up tight parts of your body in this position. It is 98 degrees outside, and I'm already sweating. This is a literal warm-up. And then find a place of stillness. We're going to warm up our core a little bit, keeping that core engaged, and we're going to inhale that right arm up and left leg back, finding that energy through both limbs, and exhale, connecting that elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, lengthening. Exhale, connect. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, connect. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Letting that energy travel out both ways. Your whole body's ignited. And exhale, release, back to tabletop. And switching over to the other side, you can roll out your wrists if you'd like. Inhaling that left arm up. Right foot back. Core is tight. Hips are in line. And exhale, connecting, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, connect. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Give it all you got. Exhale, connect. Oh, last connect. Now one more inhale, lengthening. And now release. Good job. Okay, now to get our bodies working. Let's tuck our toes. We're going to hover our knees, lifting our legs up off the mat. Briefly, our core is engaged. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pedaling out our feet, waking up those hamstrings. Let's inhale, shifting to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Continuing to do this, finding that core engagement, both in the plank and as you shift towards downward dog, maintaining that core, holding it throughout all while continuing to breathe. I find that when I'm in downward facing dog, I forget that my core should still be engaged, supporting the spine. And it feels weird being inverted and having your core engaged. It's a weird feeling. It's different. Because normally we're facing upwards, but now our body's upside down. And then we're going to exhale, lowering our body once we're in plank all the way to the mat. Do you ever wake up on those days and you see yourself in the mirror and you go, wow, I have aged? Today's one of those days where I just feel older. Time is a real thing. So let's extend we'll do right arm first. Right arm out like a T off of the mat. And we're going to take our left hand and place it under our left shoulder. What we're going to do is use that left hand to support opening up our chest so that you roll onto your hip and you can bring your leg back. What this does is it opens your right chest. It's like a good stretch in the upper spine. That took me so long to find until I discovered this stretch. And exhale, coming back to center. Onto the other side, extending that left arm out. Right hand is under the shoulder. Pressing those fingers, rolling onto the hips, opening up. And just breathing. And exhale, coming back to center. Now, time to get working on our arms, which is going to be a big struggle for me because it's been a while since I've worked on my arms. But that's okay. That's why we're here. So let's inhale into a cobra. So that's with our knees connected to the ground. Arms are below our shoulders. And going to upward facing dog, if that's comfortable, is lifting off your legs so the top of your feet are pressed into the ground and your knees are off the ground. And we're going to exhale, flipping to downward facing dog. This is going to be our resting spot, a place for us to catch our breath while we work on our arms and our shoulders. Let's inhale, coming to plank. And our first exercise is going to be touching our opposite shoulder with our hands. So it's going to be a good core workout and good arms. So we're going to start with our right hand to left shoulder first. And we're just going to keep alternating hands, keeping that core engaged. Continuing to breathe, doing it for a little longer. If we're training for a big fight, we gotta pack our punches, and that comes from our core. A lot of that power comes from the core. And we'd like our arms to be strong as well, to add that sting. Okay, couple more. Continuing to breathe, and pushing back to downward facing dog. Okay, we'll move on to our next one. This is going to work our obliques, arms as well, but you get a break on one arm at least. Let's inhale back to plank. We're going to do side planks. So, inhaling, coming up, shifting onto our left hand and the line of our left foot. You can keep your other foot down as well for balance. And this will be our high plank. If you need a modification, like something different, a little more rest with your arms, you can drop that bottom leg, dropping that knee down so you have more support. Raising up those hips, finding that strength, and exhale, come to center. And now we're gonna switch, inhaling our left arm up, shifting our weight to our right, using both legs off the ground or dropping that back knee for support. Whatever works for you on this day. I really feel my arms working. And exhale, back to center. Come into downward facing dog. Walking it out. And next, we're going to shift one more time into plank. And we're going to lower onto our forearms. So we're doing a lower plank. Still keeping that core engaged. Focusing a little bit more on the shoulders now, even though they've been getting a pretty good workout. Continuing to breathe. Okay, not giving up. We're going to inhale, and we're going to press our hands back to the mat, lifting up to high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale, and exhale, lower those knees to child's pose.
Finding that rest in your arms. They just did a lot. Relaxing into the pose, letting this be a moment of release. I don't want to move from this position. But next we're going to work on opening up our hips. So we're going to inhale, coming back into a downward facing dog. Tucking those toes under, lifting those hips up, creating that V with our lower legs, or lower limbs, and upper torso. Let's inhale that right leg up to the sky.
Feeling that extension in your right leg. We're going to open up the hips, inviting that knee to bend like a scorpion tail. Making sure our shoulders are still square with the edge of the mat, so it's still the same downward facing dog position in your shoulders as your hips open up. And we're going to go into a wild thing, which is kind of hard to explain, but if you follow your foot, dropping that foot in the air behind you, and your whole body will open up, spreading the whole front body, feeling that expansion. We're going to move back to downward facing dog and try it on the other side, just trusting that foot to step behind you. So let's inhale that left leg up to the sky, reaching it out, stacking those hips on top of each other, bending that leg like a scorpion. And then following through with that motion, bringing that foot behind you, opening up the whole front body. Great job. And coming back to downward facing dog. Next we're going to get a little deeper into our hips by bringing that right foot up. And we're going to step that right foot to the outside of our mat, outside of our hands. So our stance is a little bit wider between our legs. And you can keep your knee up, or you're invited to drop that back leg. Maybe feeling a deeper stretch in your hips, doing whichever one feels good. And to go a little further, you can come on down to your forearms. Spending some time here, bringing breath to your stretch. And to go a little further, you can come out to the edge of your foot, opening up that knee to the outside of the mat for a deeper lengthening in your hip. Continuing to breathe. And when you're ready, coming back up onto your hands, bringing that foot back, untucking those back toes and stepping back into a downward facing dog. Moving on to the next one. Bring that left leg up and to the outside of the mat. Feeling the difference between the left side and the right side. Lowering that back knee if you would like. Sitting and giving into the stretch. And when you're ready, you can lower onto your forearms. Going further, rolling that knee out so you're on the edge of your foot. Giving in to this deep stretch. It's a tough balance between releasing muscles and releasing tension while also having that support in your body. But it's good practice of being relaxed in tight situations. And coming back on to your hands when you're ready, tucking those back toes under and stepping back into a downward facing dog. Great job. Walking out your legs a little bit, feeling the difference in your body, feeling a little bit more open in the hips, We're going to go into pigeon pose, so raising that right leg up and bringing that knee forward to bring the shin and knee to the mat in front of you. Untucking those back toes. Finding that stretch in the back of your hip, the back of your thigh, and that front leg. If you like a little bit more of a challenge, you can bring your knee closer to the edge of the mat on the right side. Sinking in. And if you're ready, lowering onto your forearms. You can rest your head if you'd like. Another moment of finding release while your body is still working. Now, fighters are fast and quick, and so I know that when I have to run and I'm not stretched out, the inside of my hips hurt a lot, so these are great stretches for it. So we're going to come back into downward facing dog and switching to the other leg, bringing that left leg up, letting the shin and knee meet the mat in front of you, readjusting your body so it's comfortable and you feel a nice stretch. Find that lengthening in your torso. And when you're ready, coming onto your forearms, letting go of the tightness. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips too, so this is always a nice release. Good release of where we hold a lot of emotional tension. And just let it move through you. And coming back up onto our hands. Tucking that back toe under, going into downward facing dog. The last one, walking out your hamstrings. Moving in a way that feels good. And then lowering down to your knees, coming into a child's pose. Resting, letting your body rest after moving so much. And when you're ready, sitting back up. And we're going to come on to our back. Hugging your knees to your chest, moving in ways that feel comfortable. What does your body need at this moment? Rocking back and forth, moving the knees in a circle, doing what feels good for you. This is your time. Take the time to listen to your body and see what it needs. Ask yourself, what do you need? And when you're ready, you can straighten out your legs into a shavasana, hands spread out on either side. Feeling all the energy you've built up, all the new strength and flexibility we've worked on today. Feeling the earth rise to meet you and support you. You are strong. You are flexible. You are fast. Letting that oxygen fill those new places of discovery, those new muscles being made. The areas that were stretched further than they normally go. letting that oxygen fill you up. Taking this time for rest and rejuvenation. Feeling powerful. You are a fighter. You are brave, you are courageous. And when you're ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, starting to move your joints until you get a nice big stretch, waking up your body again. And you can begin to roll over onto your side in a fetal position, closing out this practice. Feeling a sense of strength and support from your body. And when you're ready, gently lifting yourself up on an inhale into a comfortable seated position. Moving your body to wake up any parts that are stiff. My neck is a bit stiff. Moving your neck, your shoulders. Whatever feels good. Placing your hands on your knees. We're going to begin a nice big inhale up to the sky, and exhale, release it, our hands down. Inhaling up, exhale down. Inhaling up one more time, bringing those hands together and exhaling them down through heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. You are a fighter. I hope you have a lovely day, a lovely week, a lovely life. Namaste.